So you may have seen this video with Donald Trump on Meet the Press a couple of days ago, and he was asked about a couple of things. He was asked about his concepts of a healthcare plan. I forget the interviewer's name. I apologize, but she asked him about his concepts of a healthcare plan, and Donald Trump says, "Yes, we have concepts," and she said, "Still just concepts of a healthcare plan?" And he's like, "Look, if I have anything better, then I'll release it. We'll talk about it. But, until that time, the concepts, I've got some of the best people working on this stuff there. It's all the sweet little words that are literally just words, and they're not even that sweet. They literally come off as nothing but lies, and that's what it is there. He's like, Obamacare stinks, but I'm the one who saved it." I mean, my dude, it's just like, which one is it? Does Obamacare, the affordable health care, does it stink or does it rock? Make up your mind, because you have concepts of your health care plan, which you have had almost 9 years to create a new health care plan. And people want to think you're so damn smart. You're not. You are ridiculous. You're incompetent. You're ridiculous. You don't really have anything at all going for you. Just your cowardly, stupid vision that nobody even likes. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you this, all right? The next thing, one of the next topics that I want to talk about is Donald Trump's tariffs. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that I've talked about tariffs quite a bit. I'm putting this video up on here because of the potential doom coming to TikTok soon enough. But anyways, tariffs, as we have discovered, as we have already been told plenty of times, even before the election, that tariffs do not work. They were never going to work, and now Donald Trump is backtracking on his, not on his plan for tariffs, but on the fact that tariffs would actually work. Because here is what the interviewer said to Donald Trump, is that, many economists have said that the tariffs are going to put a tax on the consumer, and Donald Trump says, "I disagree with that." Well, I'm so sorry to tell you this, Donald Trump. It doesn't really matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you feel, because you don't get to control what companies do with their prices. You don't get to make that control. Walmart and other stores out there have said, look, if these tariffs come in, unfortunately, we have to raise our prices. They actually, have said we don't want to, but this is the cost of what tariffs will do. And people did not pay attention to what a tariff actually is. It is not a tax on the other country. It's a tax on the consumer for paying for those tariffs, for paying for those goods coming in, being shipped into our country. Because we do need to have those other products come in from different countries. We get everything. A lot, gets, brought in from other countries. We do make goods here in America, yes, but there are other parts that, just the smallest little bit that do come from China as well, too. Like for your car, for your phone, things like that. Any little piece, some small piece like that, all comes from different parts of the world. Your groceries, a lot of stuff actually comes from, Mexico. It's been shown on graphs there. A lot of stuff comes from other parts of the world there. And Donald Trump wants to slap a tariff on, and he makes up these ridiculous ass numbers. During the campaign, he'd say we'll put 1,000% tariff on Mexico or something like that. I was like, my dude, you are making these ridiculous ass numbers. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But now people have fucked around. They're going to find out that a tariff is going to raise your prices. Because here's what Donald Trump said when asked, can you guarantee that the people will not have their prices be raised because of a tariff? And Donald Trump said, I can't guarantee anything. Donald Trump has lied to you all again. And you fell for the lie. Those of you who voted for Donald Trump and those of you who did not vote at all this year, I'm sorry, you are also to blame for what has transpired, for what has happened. You did not get out to vote. It has been shown that less people voted this year than they did in the 2020 election. I think many people underestimated exactly how impactful this election was going to be here. I don't know what separated people from 2020 to this year's election that we had. I don't know if, the COVID, if the pandemic, got more people to be like, you know what, Trump handled this so badly, we need to get out there and, we need to get this guy gone. And they just, were like, you know what, January 6th wasn't that bad. Or maybe, just maybe, they actually were just like, you know what, there's no way that Trump could win. There's no way he could do it. Because I get it. You would want to put your faith in that the American people were smart enough to not put in a convicted felon, a man found liable for sexual assault, a liar, the leader of the insurrection that happened on January 6th of 2021, the man that tried to steal the 2020 election. People underestimated. People, I think, underestimated exactly the fact that Donald Trump had a chance in this election. I think, they've been told so many times, don't listen to the polls. And look, polls, sometimes are right, sometimes are wrong. And I think that also people may have seen that, of how much goodwill that was with Kamala Harris ever since she was announced as the nominee. And all the endorsements, all the support that she kept getting. I think they were like, you know what? They've got this in the bag, the Democrats do. We don't have to vote this year. They got this. The problem with that type of thinking, if that is what some of you who stayed home and did not vote at all, if that's how you felt, listen, we needed you. And you should have gone out and voted, because the more people who do vote, then it would have, shown Donald Trump that your MAGA way, your lies, your threats, your insults, your attacks are not popular anymore. They are ridiculous. They should not represent how we are in America. And we're going to show you up. This is not what we want anymore. And, you could have done that by just getting out and voting. But the bottom line is that, once again, people found out after they made their vote that they found out what a tariff was, because companies have already started telling their employees that they're not getting their Christmas bonus this year. And when they were asked why, they said because we have to plan ahead for these tariffs and we have to start stocking up in our stock, in our product, or whatever it's called. I can't think of it right now. And they asked why, and they're like, I thought that the tariff was a tax on the country. Like, nope, we get taxed too. And like, what? And again, fuck around, find out. That's what's happening, man. So people aren't getting their Christmas bonus. People are already getting laid off, actually, because of the incoming tariffs. People are planning ahead by buying up right now because of the tariffs, which, yes, is that a good thing that people are buying right now? Sure, but it's because they are scared. It is the emergency buying right now because they are scared of the what if. And this is why I said on TikTok, I hope Donald Trump is lying about tariffs. He lies about everything else. Why not lie about tariffs? Just do something that is not a tariff. Don't be stupid. But that's not who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump has to be stupid. Donald Trump has to be a moron. Donald Trump has to do things like this. He has to be an idiot, because Donald Trump can never admit he is wrong. Donald Trump, because he said tariffs, he has to go through with it. He can't ever go back to the drawing board and actually think, you know what, maybe a tariff isn't actually a good idea. Economists have all said that my tariffs plan is not a good idea. That doesn't matter to him. Just do it anyways. That is his way. It is the wrong way to do things, but does he care? No, he doesn't. And people looked up after they voted. They said, what is a tariff? They learned. Fuck around. Find out. Then they researched on Google. Can I change my vote? No, sorry, Sugar Puff. Once you vote, you voted. You're locked in. You can't change your vote. This isn't, oh, I made the wrong answer on my test sheet. Let me just, hit it with an eraser and then go back and correct my mistake. No, it's too late. You already locked it in. You already voted. You can't just go back and change your vote because you changed your mind because you finally actually decided to study. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that, bruv. Doesn't work like that at all. And so, again, you all in MAGA got played. You all who voted for Donald Trump, you thought you were voting for lower prices? You weren't. You were voting for higher prices. You could have known about it if you just did the proper research. But your problem is everybody else is wrong. Everybody else does not matter. Nobody else's opinion, nobody else's thoughts, nobody else's facts matter except for Donald Trump's facts. Because you live in the cult bubble. You live in your fantasy world. You don't live in the reality. Because all you want to do is believe in Donald Trump, a man who consistently lies to all of you. He lied to you about the 2020 election being stolen. He knew he lost. He has said it over and over again that he lost. He said, when he was caught on camera or on audio tape showing people the stolen classified documents that he had, all because he wanted to play make-believe that he was still the president of the United States. He said, if I was president, I could declassify this, but I'm not president. He has gone out and said that he lost the 2020 election. I can account on 2 times he's actually said it before. And I talked to somebody about it, and they say, well, he was just joking about that. Come on! Everything's a joke to this man? Everything this man says is a joke? Why take him seriously then? Man's a fucking clown. Fucking clown. And you're buying into the bullshit. You bought in the bullshit. All because you wouldn't believe anybody else. It is time for you to get real. It is time for you to actually smarten the fuck up. Get out of MAGA. Because what does MAGA represent? Hatred, threats, violence, lies, racism, separation, and division. When you say make America great again, you use a cute little phrase that you think sounds patriotic. But I'm sorry, your little MAGA phrase literally is surrounded by people who are with hate in their heart, who have racism in their heart, who say, your body, my choice. You have people who are represented with such disgust. And you want to claim that those people don't represent MAGA. I'm sorry, but they do. They do. Because of yours, of what you go for. So again, my final message is, once again, you all got played. You all got played, and now we all have to suffer because of your actions. And again, those of you who did not vote, your inactions of not voting. You have to go through the potential of the higher prices. Because look, I'm holding my I'm not going to trust Donald Trump that prices will not raise, but I hope that America doesn't get screwed over. Problem is, every economist has basically gone out there and said, yeah, you guys are going to get screwed. And I choose to believe the economist over Dummy Donald. I mean, come on, man. But y'all got played. Again, those of you who were like, we want to vote for lower prices. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. If Donald Trump goes through with all of his plans, and let's talk about this one here too. Donald Trump also talking about delegalization. People who were born in this country from a family that is here not legally, they want that a person born in this country is born as an American citizen. Donald Trump wants to take that away. That's in the Constitution. Or Bill of Rights, whichever one. But I'm pretty sure it was in the Constitution. But either way, Donald Trump wants to take that away. He just said it on this interview with Meet the Press. And you have people that are in Donald Trump's cabinet that are talking about delegalization, taking away people's legal status in this country just because they can, just because they want to. And we already knew beforehand, we knew that Donald Trump would go after people who are here legally in this country. Why? Because when it was told about that the Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are in there legally, Donald Trump was asked about that by an interviewer, and he said we still have to get them out because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about your legal status because all it is about what sounds best for his MAGA base. And what sounds best to rile up the MAGA base is hatred, separation, division, racism, and lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Although, of course, if MAGA wants to come in here, they would try to tell me that I'm lying. But, that's because you buy into the fucking Kool-Aid. You drink it up. But again, also, Donald Trump, concepts of a healthcare plan. He says that Obamacare, the affordable healthcare, stinks. And yet he's got nothing better. Dude, you've had almost 9 years to make up a healthcare plan. Because you knew you were going to run again. Don't pretend you weren't going to run again. You still have nothing. You have nothing. This man's an embarrassment. This man is an embarrassment on our country. An embarrassment. I've talked about this before on my TikTok as well, too. The Republican Party is not the Republican Party. It is the Trump Party or MAGA Party. Take your pick. Out of respect for the Republicans who actually endorsed Kamala Harris and voted for Kamala Harris, I don't call it the Republican Party because I actually have respect for certain Republicans in that party who actually chose to vote for democracy and not for dictatorship like Donald Trump is looking to be. Donald Trump says that, people need to be locked up, but that he's not going to claim for them to be locked up, but they need to be looked into. And that is all you need to say when you are Donald Trump. I'm not going to do anything, but I think something needs to be done. Those are the words that people know. The president said he's not going to do it, but he's going to do it. But that's what you get with Donald Trump. You get the, we should do something about it, but don't worry, I won't do anything about it. I'll just have, Kash Patel and other people, do my bidding. And I'll be like, hey, I had nothing to do with it, man. This is what you voted for. It's what you voted for. And again, I'm sorry, I have to place the blame on the people who didn't vote as well, too. You all knew how important this election was. And to not have voted, that's not good on your part, man. And you have to live with that. You have to live with that. You see, a little bit of my story here for a moment. I was too late to vote in the 2020 election. I was too late to register. And I made sure this year I was not going to miss out. I registered as soon as I could, and I voted early when I made my plan to vote. I took care of it. I did my part. You all need to get out there and vote. Now, we do have the primary a vote coming in 2 years, and look, we all need to get engaged. I believe the primary is about voting for Congress members, if I'm not mistaken, but you need to take part in that. It's important. It could make a huge difference. It's going to be a long 4 years of Donald Trump. And again, people who are saying, well, at least he can't run again. Donald Trump has already teased about running for a third time. He has said, if I do such a good job this time around, maybe I'll just run it another time. Because here's the reality, folks. His sentencing for his New York trial has been put on pause until after he is out of office. And Donald Trump does not want to face accountability for his actions. And so he will try to run for a third time. He is going to try to overthrow the Constitution. He's going to try to do it. There is nothing that's going to hold him back. You know, there are going to be certain people that will join the coup that Donald Trump will try to make, but I don't think that he'll have enough votes for that, enough people to actually go with that plan that he'll try to make. But he's gonna try it. He's gonna try it, and you know, he already thinks that his 2016 to 2020 was so good. It was the most perfect 4 years America's ever had, and things like that. I handled COVID so perfectly. How could he actually believe that? He just wants people to believe in anything. He just wants people to believe that, oh my God, nobody handled COVID better than Donald Trump. Oh my God, no country handled COVID better than me. He just wants you to forget that so many people died during COVID. He wants you to forget that we were the country with one of the most death rates in the entire world. And right now, as we bounce back, we are the country who has some of the lowest inflation out there in the world. We have some of the best bounce back rate of the entire world. But Donald Trump doesn't want you to believe that. Donald Trump just wants you to believe that he is going to fix everything, and yet he doesn't know how to fix anything. Donald Trump ran for election, not for you, but to run away from the law. Donald Trump didn't run for the country. He ran for revenge. He told so many people that, revenge takes time. Dr. Phil tried to tell him, you're not gonna have time to get revenge, right? And Donald Trump's like, well, revenge takes time. And Dr. Phil's like, yeah, it does. And then just moved on. Because that's what Donald Trump was running for. Running from the law, running to get power back, because he's a power-hungry maniac, egomaniac, and running to get revenge on people who he feels wronged him. I'm sorry. When you break the law, you have to face justice. So when he always says, if they can do it to me, they can do it to you. Yeah, dude, when you steal classified documents, yeah, you're supposed to get, some type of penalty. You're supposed to get, some type of charges laid on you for stealing classified documents. You're not president anymore, so you can't play make-believe and be president of the United States by holding on to classified documents. Again, you want to bring up Joe Biden for having classified documents? Biden gave it back. When he realized he had them, gave them back to where they belong, with the FBI, to keep it at the White House or wherever they keep the classified documents. Mike Pence, same thing. When he realized he had them, gave them back. Donald Trump would have had no penalties given to him if he had just given them back. But he refused to do that. He wanted to continue to steal those classified documents. He wanted to hide them. He wanted to keep them all with him, to feel like he was in control with power or something. Just sad. Really sad. A sad fuck is Donald Trump. But this is what we have. You wanted lies. Those of you in MAGA, you didn't want truth. You want lies and injustice. Because if you actually cared about truth and justice, you wouldn't have voted for a criminal. You wouldn't have voted for a man who has been found liable for sexual assault. You wouldn't have wanted a man who has cheated on every single wife that he has ever had. You wouldn't have wanted a man who has actually gone into women's locker rooms at these beauty pageants just to stare at underage women changing. Do you realize how gross that is? It's sickening and it's gross. But just because Donald Trump said, I will lower your prices with tariffs, and you said, cool, you didn't question what a tariff was until after you voted. Or you just said, you know what, I don't care what people say a tariff is. Donald Trump knows what a tariff is more than the economist. He'll fix it, he'll get it right. And then nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And now Donald Trump has told you he can't guarantee that your prices are not going to be raised because of a tariff. Congratulations, you played yourself.